So much for joining us. I'm Mike Walter in Washington, D.C. Let's get right to our breaking news. Emergency crews scrambling at this hour after an earthquake hits Taiwan. The 6.4 magnitude quake struck about 20 kilometers northeast of the city of Hualien. Officials say at least 2 people are dead, more than 100 injured. Roads split open, a hotel partially collapsed. There are reports that more than 24 people are trapped inside that hotel. Images from social media are showing emergency responders blocking off the scene, and soldiers are on their way. Ross Feingold is a senior advisor with D.C. International Advisory. He is in Taiwan. He felt the earthquake as it hit. He's joining us now from Taipei. Ross, describe for us what it felt like.
Well, these earthquakes began on Sunday night, and ever since then we've had a series of aftershocks, although the heavy shake that occurred on Tuesday night was actually being reported as another earthquake and not as an aftershock. And given that most of us here in Taipei are in tall buildings, a 4.0 earthquake in the capital of Taipei is already quite a very heavy shake.
And we're looking at some of the imagery. It's pretty amazing. Roads with, like, you see rocks cascading onto the roads, and we know that some of the roads have been blocked off. Can you talk to me at all about what you're seeing in terms of media there about rescue efforts? Because I think that's got to produce some difficulties, I would imagine, for crews getting into the area.
That's right. The area is somewhat remote, although there are good highways to get there. But it's relatively small towns and very rural in some parts. So I would expect some difficulty assessing the extent of the damage until daylight, which is about 4 hours from now. So rescue workers from all over Taiwan are trying to access the area. We should keep in mind that earthquakes in Taiwan are common, and rescue crews from throughout the island do have a lot of experience with earthquake recovery. But getting there is going to be a bit of a challenge, especially in the middle of the night, and with roads, as you indicated, damaged in some places. And also, because this is a somewhat mountainous area, there are rock slides. And the rock slides began with the initial earthquakes on Sunday night, followed by the many aftershocks that we've had. So some roads were already impassable due to the rock slides, and now it's made worse by tonight's very large earthquake.
And Ross, we're looking at the imagery. It looks to me like the Marshall Hotel. I know that you're in Taipei, but have you ever been to the region? Do you know much about this particular area or that hotel specifically?
Well, it's an area very popular with tourists, both local tourists as well as foreign visitors, because it is along the Pacific coast. So there is stunning scenery from this area. Right now it is the winter. It's in the mid-40s Fahrenheit, so it's quite cold, which reduces the number of tourists who would be in the area. And the Lunar New Year holiday has yet to begin as well, so people are still at work or school. So there won't be a lot of tourists in these hotels. But one of the reasons why
apparently we lost our signal with Ross there. Ross Feingold was joining us from Taipei, describing what was going on there.